folks. All right, I am back to live streaming, and it's going to be a good time today, working on a something in downshift, which is tangentially related to Epic React, because that's like all I'm doing right now is Epic React stuff. So, yeah, I'll just go ahead and show you what I'm working on right now. I've got this exercise or a series of exercises in the React Performance Workshop where you have just this city selector thing where you can filter down cities, and this uses downshift. And in my original incarnation of this, I just used the render prop version of downshift, the one that I wrote, but it's been a few years and somebody else has taken ownership. Let's see if I can give him a quick shout out. I can't remember how to pronounce his name, so let me just it's Sil something. Yep, Silvio Alex. I don't know how to say his name, but this person's awesome. Yeah, that's probably a mistake. Maybe he changed his Twitter or his GitHub username. Anyway, cool person. Did a lot with accessibility when I was maintaining it, and then I handed it off to him, and he's been doing super duper awesome at it ever since. And he created some hooks, and I wanted, in my performance stuff, I wanted to upgrade everything to the latest and greatest of everything, and I thought that hooks would be one of those things we wanted to upgrade everybody to. And so in the process of doing this, I use React Virtual, which is a new hook that came out from my friend Tanner Lindsley. He's awesome. For the virtualization, not demo, exercise. And then I am using the useCombobox custom hook from downshift that this guy created. I don't know how to say his name. I'm a terrible friend. Silvio. Is it gonna? Yep, that's what I'm gonna roll with. So, ran into a bit of a snag here though when we're talking about memoization. I cannot memoize these things because the get item props function is changing. And so let me grab the code here. So what I'm doing right here, we're in 03, just doing react.memo on both of these, but these are getting past a function get item props. That's coming from the menu, which is ultimately coming from our useCombobox. So get item props is not memoized, and so that's what the dealio is. We need to memoize this, and I suppose like I could kind of do my own hacky memoization with useref and stuff. And it'd probably be okay actually, but it's pretty hacky, and I'd just rather have it work out of the box and not have to get into that for this particular performance thing. I wouldn't say it's necessarily hacky, but it would just take so much extra. It would be like half of a workshop all by itself. I should fill out my water bottle. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm going to work on, is just memoizing all of these callbacks with useCallback. And I thought it would be really straightforward, but it turns out there are a bunch of things in here that actually do break memoization if we continue writing it the way that we were. So I'm going to change things up a little bit, and yeah, I'll probably do a little test-driven development on this to make sure that we get it right, because this one's, I think, going to be a little tricky. So I haven't had downshift on my computer in a long time. It's been years since I helped maintain this project. So let me just yeah, we're gonna cd into probably the desktop. There we go. Git clone that down into there, and then cd downshift and npm run setup. I'm guessing they still got the setup script. Awesome. So that should, yeah, just run the install and validate scripts. And normally when I maintain or when I update something that I haven't used in a while, or like add new features or whatever, normally I just start out by updating everything, all the dependencies and stuff, but I'm not going to bother doing that this time because I'm not really a maintainer anymore, and so I don't want to update somebody else's stuff. I do technically have commit rights to this project, but yeah, I don't want to step on anyone else's toes. I handed this off, and we're going to be happy with that. So while that's running, I'll go ahead and open VS Code here. And just going to go to the hooks here. We'll go to useCombobox. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go to useSelect first because this one was just had a handful of things. No, maybe it was a multiple selection. It's possible that these are composed on top of each other. Yeah, possibly. I don't know. I feel like this one should be pretty easy. No, I just want to work on the one I'm working on. We can add that to the other ones later. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is add a memo.test.js. And I did give a reproduction, so I'm going to just grab that reproduction and we'll try to minimize it down to as little as possible for the test case. And then we will, we'll get this thing rocking and rolling. Pretty sure we are using React testing library in here, but let's just double check. We've got test utils and React hooks testing library and React testing library doing some cleanup manually, which I don't think should be necessary, but let's see, testing library. Yeah, that cleanup's happening automatically, so we shouldn't need that. But I'm gonna touch as little as possible. And let's take a look at this useCombobox test util thing. That should be jest.requireActual. That's interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. This is probably copy pasted from something I did a while ago, actually. Okay, render combo box takes props and the UI callback. Here, let's just see how this is used. Okay, cool. Thinking I may need to do sort of my own thing in here, but I want to make sure that I'm not just making things harder or whatever. Render is coming from testing library. We've got a render hook. Render useCombobox. Oh, okay, so that doesn't do too much. Drop down combo box. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to do my own thing. Cool. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do my own thing here. So we'll just grab this guy right here, and then we'll get rid of the stuff that we don't want. Use combo box. Why is that a red underline? Huh, that's interesting. Is this a default export? Ah, yes it is. Okay. And then let's see our test utils, items. Yeah, there are the items. So we're good with those items. So import items from test utils. I think probably want items. There we go. Okay, sweet. And I don't care about the styles, so we can ditch that. And that. Thanks. People saying nice things in chat always makes me feel happy. Okay, but what I really care about here is I want to keep track of how many times this is rendered. And so what would probably be easier is not doing this for the item, but instead make one for the menu. And maybe even better, hold on a second, let me think. Like my ultimate goal is to be able to memoize something so that it doesn't re-render when it doesn't need to. And so I wonder if I can just do the render hook thing and then verify that things are unchanged as I trigger re-renders. Let me look at their test utils here again. So if I render combo box, no, I don't want to do render combo box. I want to do render useCombobox, and render hook is going to give me the stuff I need. Okay, so taking a step back from this stuff, I'm going to just stick that in my clipboard for now. We're going to import render combo box from test utils, and then test functions are memoized. I'm actually thinking if maybe they should I have a couple ideas. Rather than using no, I don't think that'll work. Sorry. It's hard for me to say the thoughts that I'm thinking. Yeah, okay. So with downshift, the class component, we had access to mutable props because it's class components, and this dot props would just change. So we never worried about our prop getters changing. They were consistent for the instance. And we would call it every on every render whenever we needed, and we'd get whatever the latest of everything was. Now we're going to be using useCallback, and we have dependencies, and and that's fine when we actually want to re-render something. But I think I'm going to do things a little bit differently. But let's go ahead and write the test. So Andrew is asking if I think there will be another approach for managing state inside of React beyond hooks. I didn't expect hooks to happen, so I'm probably not a good person to make that guess. By the way, is my audio pretty quiet for you? I think it looks quiet on my when I look at my audio doodad. So let me I'm gonna add a filter to just bump the gain a little bit. To gain. Just bump it up a little bit. I'm not sure. Okay, that gets me into the red. Probably too loud. Sorry about that. Right around there. No, maybe a little quieter. There we go. So people are saying audio is good as it was before, but I am going to still leave this in place just a little bit. Okay, there we go. So we're at 6.9 decibels. That's probably good. If it's too loud, then do let me know that it sounds too loud. Or maybe if it's like, if it's clipping and you can hear it's kind of noisy or something, then let me know that too. I'm going to turn it down just a titch, because I don't want it to clip. But I do want it to be so that like you're not sitting here and then you go to another video and you're like blasting your ears out. So, all right, sweet. I would add background music, but like people got annoyed by that, and I don't know where to find good royalty-free background music. I tried, like there was a Spotify playlist that had royalty-free background music, but then my video got like, people got angry and whatever, they copyrighted and stuff. So I don't know. Okay, sweet. So Let's make sure that our functions are memoized. We're going to render ComboBox. We'll get re-render and our result. And I'm just going to console log the result. Here we go. And let's get those tests up and running. This is still using KCD scripts, which is cool. I wonder what version we're on. All right, so we've got undefined. Okay, that's not what I expected. So let's just put that all right here. There we go. Oh, interesting. Huh. This shouldn't have a container. That wouldn't make sense. Render hook. Render useCombobox. That's what I want. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to get our result and re-render. Okay. Sweet. So then I can say const first render result is result.current, and then re-render, and then this is going to be our second render result, and expect the first render result to equal second render result. Okay, so if we just do a re-render, then all of those functions and values should be the exact same values and whatever. So once this passes, then we know we're good. Can you do something with custom hooks and pass them with enzyme? No, sorry. Ditch enzyme. Go away enzyme. Nope, just use React testing library and you'll be way, way better off. Sorry, not gonna do any enzyme stuff. Okay, so I could go down the rabbit hole of React useCallback, and that's probably what most people would do, and it might be the right thing to do, but part of me is thinking, oh shoot, I had an idea, and what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, so I was going to, I think I will be using useCallback, but I'm going to put everything into a giant ref so that my callbacks are always calling the most recent function here. So yeah, our event handlers are fine. It's the getter props. No, prop getters is what it's called, but that's okay. So we're going to say React use callback on this one, and looks like they don't like doing that. That's fine. We'll just add a use callback here. Okay. So that should cover me for the get label props. Get menu props will be a little trickier here. And actually, hey, look, that's nice. Verified that's all working, but we want to do the memo. Let's just double check here. Expect first render result dot get label props to equal, or to be, really, it should be the exact same. The second, okay, comment that out, just make sure that passes. In one sentence, why is enzyme so bad? I'm actually going to give you a whole blog post. You go read that, and if that's interesting, then check out the rest of my blog. I've got tons of stuff on testing, yeah, and then you can go get testingjavascript.com and learn how to test for reals, and it's awesome. Okay, cool. So we got that one done. React use callback. Come down here, and then we do have our exhaustive depths, so that's good. Menu handle mouse leave. And now we have to memoize all of the things. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to move this directly in there. then we can ditch that. Okay, oh, and this is not React use callback. Yeah, there we go. Fix that. Dispatch. That's fine. Dispatch should be stable. Let's double check that that's stable because we're getting it from this use controlled reducer. So it might not be. Our dispatch is coming from use enhanced reducer. And dispatch with props. React use callback. And props. Oh, great. That's not going to work. So we're going to say props ref equals react, or nope, use ref props react, ay caramba. And props will be props ref dot current, and then use layout effect props ref current equals props. Feel like I'm in hooks utils, so we're gonna make a hook for this because I have a feeling we're gonna be doing this quite a fair amount. Export function use current latest ref value. Oops. And then this is going to be return. Let's see. Yeah. Ref equals use ref value return ref, and then use layout effect ref dot current, and we don't want to do that. There we go. Equals val. Using use layout effect to ensure that the current value gets set as soon as possible before any other effect callbacks. Okay, so then we've got this use latest ref. Sweet, right? That's pretty cool. And then props ref can go in there. I don't care. It's a ref. It'll never change, so we're good. Okay, so now our dispatch with props will dispatch with the latest props, which is exactly the desired outcome. And now dispatch with props is memoized, so that's great. And yeah, so now our dispatch, okay, now where was I? Yeah, dispatch can go in there, no problem. So far, so good. That's the only thing we wanted. I just inlined that thing, so that's fine. Okay, get item props. This one's going to be tricky. This is useCallback. Okay, and then let's let Dan fill that in for us. Thanks, Dan. So here's where the problem comes in. Items, re-rendering. So when the user types something in, not all of the list items need to change. Like for example, if it's the first, we've got the first list item and they type a character and that first list item's still there, then that first list item doesn't need to re-render, right? But our items will be a new array after typing that character. And so, yeah, this makes this be busted. So that item refs thing, yeah, I think what I'm going to do, so that's a pretty good question. Utils right here where I said use layout effect. They were wondering, why don't I just do that right here? So it probably is fine to do that, but it's not concurrent mode safe, and so we're just making this concurrent mode safe because you don't want to do side effects in the render phase, and hooks run during the render phase. So yeah, that's why that. Okay, so I'm thinking I need a bag of all of my state, and then handle item click. It's literally just being used in one place. Yep, okay. So we're going to take both of these, put them right up here. Okay, then we can ditch those. Oh, and actually, we don't need to do this anymore. Just stick that in directly like that, because we have access to the index now. Okay, so then our highlighted index. So the reason that I need to deal with highlighted index and the items is because with the handle or with a highlighted index, anytime I key down, it highlights a new item in my list, which will trigger this callback to update, which will trigger a re-render on everything that gets past this as a prop. So if we want to keep this consistent, then this function can't change when these values change. And that's, yeah, this is not really recommended. We are doing a bit of hackery, but what I'm going to do, you know, when you build components like this, you really just have to do some of this hackery. So I think it's okay. So we're going to pull in from utils, use, what was it, ref, what was it? Utils, use latest ref. Okay. I'm in the wrong utils. We've got utils right there. There we go. No. We've got 3 utils. One for just this project, one for the hooks, and one for everything. That's fun. Okay, so anyway, we've got our use latest ref, which I'm going to put right here. Bucket of state, or latest state. Use latest ref. And this is going to be is open, highlighted, index, selected, item, input value, and items, or props. Yep, there we go. And actually, let's do state. And we'll just call this latest. Yep, that's what we're going to call it. Actually, I'm going to do this really quick. We're going to just call this state. See what Prettier does with that. There we go. Sweet. So now I've got my latest down here, and so I can say, instead of items, I can say latest, or here, items, or let's see, props, items, equals latest to current. And this is variable shadowing, rats. Latest props dot items. There we go. Then our item is an argument, index is an argument, and then highlighted index Rats. It just is kind of annoying. Would you prefer showing all items rather than type ahead? It really depends on the use case. This supports both, so yeah. Okay, so then we've got our state, latest state. Okay, so then for the highlighted index, both of those, we're going to want that to be latest state.highlighted index. Yep. That'll do her. We can ditch that. And now what do you want? Dispatch and latest. Oh, right, but latest is a ref, so we're fine. Okay, good. Sweet. I think this will actually work out okay. So let me just make sure. I'm going to just run all of the tests here really quick. Okay, so that's good. The test caught something I was doing wrong. So let's figure out what I busted. Get item props and useCombobox. Highlights the item. Just run that one test so we can add some console logs here. Just make sure that this is what we think it is. Item index. Okay. Interesting. Log state. The real state. Latest state. Oh, that'll happen in a... Oh, yeah. Huh. So that question that was asked earlier about why I'm using use layout effect. This doesn't... Concurrent mode be darned. I know some people say the D word. I don't say that word, but we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to just set it. And the reason that we're going to do that is, first of all, concurrent mode is awesome as it is. Who knows when that's actually going to get shipped. Second of all, the situations where this would actually trigger a bug are pretty minimal, and especially in our case, it actually is, we're probably better off having this because of the way that we use this. Because the thing is that this callback, watch this, I save this and our test will pass. Save. Yep, there it is, passing test. Yeah, so let's get rid of all those console logs. Right here, there we go. Passing test. So what was happening is our latest value wasn't getting updated until after the commit happened, but these callbacks are expected to be called before the commit finishes. So during render, these callbacks are called. So that is a special case here, and I'm fine with that. That limitation, I guess. So using randomized local drill shot template hook function maximum obscurity 10 service providers. Wow, what in the world? Okay. Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, we're going to clear all those filters, make sure all the tests are passing, except for the one that I'm still working on, which they are. Sweet glory. That's fun. And let's go down to our memo again, because I don't want to wait. So, feeling good about that. Thank you, test, for catching my mistake here. I'm going to add a note. Technically, this is not concurrent mode safe because we're manipulating the value during render. However, so it's not idempotent. Is that how you spell that? Yeah. However, the places this hook is used is to support memoizing callbacks, which will be called during render. So we need the latest values during render and cannot alter. If not for this, then we'd probably want to use layout effect instead. Okay, that's good. Great. That takes care of that. And we'll just use callback this thing. You're setting val ref in current. Yeah, it's true. I don't need to do that. You're right. You just whatever. Okay. So, you know what? But I like that. So I'm gonna go back to setting the val just to make it more clear that this is the ref. That's what it is. We'll just set it. It doesn't matter the first time, but it will matter. It sets the current value the first time, but it doesn't set the current value the following time. So that's why we have to call set.current. But and it would work fine either way technically, but I'm gonna do it this way. So okay, cool. So now let's figure out what this wants. Oops, toggle that thing. We're just gonna grab this sucker and go up here, paste it there. And now dispatch is fine, is open is not fine. Latest state is open. I feel bad because this is going to be just wreak havoc on in the diff. We'll see if this ever gets merged. Val ref is not supposed to change during render, so how can that be not concurrent compatible? So this is the line right here. That's not concurrent compatible, because what can happen is React comes through here and it is running all of our functions, and then at one point somebody suspends, or a higher priority update comes along and React says, okay, never mind, let's throw away those React elements I was getting, and then it comes around again, and then we set it to a new or different value. But if there's somewhere that references, this actually might be okay, but if we were to say if the ref.current is not equal to ref.current, or if it's, we do some sort of check there, then we could wind up in a hard situation. Dallas is wondering why I don't say the D word. Because I grew up not saying the D word. So not just today, just I never say that word. Unless I'm like talking about, reading the scriptures and saying like they're, whatever. Anyway, but I don't want to say that on the stream either. So let's keep on rolling right here. And in here, it's using a bunch of stuff. So, let's get our event handlers here first. Looks like all of these we're going to grab. And then come down here and we'll stick those right there. And then we can update this to get rid of all that. Okay, then we've got dispatch, which we've already taken care of. Highlighted index, input, key handlers. This is used in get input props as well. So we need to memoize this. React use memo, and except we're not doing React in here. Okay. Oh, right. Now we need to do open and open. There we go. And let's see what highlighted index and is open latest. current. And use memo is going to need to come from React. Okay, sweet. So then we have our input key down handlers. Right here, this is all in our get input props. Oh, hold on a second. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. Probably better off that way. Okay, so then highlighted index. It's just going to be latest.current or .state current here, latest state dot. And I messed that up here, so let me do that right now. Latest current state. Latest state. Latest current state. And then coming back down here, latest state, latest current state. There we go. Latest state and latest state. Okay, that's a ref, so we're fine with that. So those ones are the ones we want eventually, but we still have is open and input value we've got to deal with. Latest state and is open. Sweet. Good. We're working our way toward that end goal. Get combo box props, use callback. And what we got is open. All right, latest current state is open. Okay, sweet. And then all of these will be easy because they're all just dispatch stuff. So this is use. I wonder if I can multi-cursor this thing. Use callback. Boom. That was nice. What do we got left? This one. Okay, and this one. And use callback. Dispatch. But we know dispatch is stable, so we're good with that. Let's save this. Should pass. Yes! Sweet! Booyah! All right, good stuff. Glad about this. So, let's run all the tests here and make sure I didn't break anything. Boo! Rats. All right, we have a bunch of things failed. Okay, well, let's just investigate this. Oh, okay, cannot read is open. Latest state. This is going to be this current state. There. And maybe that's the one thing. Sweet. Yes. This is great. Okay, so what this means is, yeah, actually, I don't know what more I'd want to test here. Like we already have a ton of other things tested, testing like literally everything else. So I don't think that this is something we need to worry about anymore. Woohoo! This, yeah, this will be a good thing. This would be a good change. So this is the bad part, actually. You know what? Let's go ahead and, because that wasn't all that super duper challenging, that's interesting. Oh, for utils, that makes sense. I'm going to add this for our useSelect. So actually, let's just render select or render use select memo. Let's just run all the memo ones. Okay, and then actually let's just do the select memo. There we go. That doesn't make any sense. Select memo. There we go. Okay, sweet. So we'll go over here. The prop getters need to be memoized. Use callback. And then we're going to need use latest. So we'll come up here and we'll also need use callback and use latest ref. And then we'll come down right here. Latest equals use latest ref, props and state. State and props. Call this state. Okay. And down here where I made that change, or where we're doing that thing, toggle button and a click right here. We'll just put this directly in there. And then is open is going to be latest current state is open. And I guess we'll need, this will be React use, just use memo. And we'll come up here, grab use memo. And this is probably going to just want dispatch. Yep, good. Use callback does not have that warning. Wait, doc says use memo is not guaranteed. Yeah. So it's not guaranteed. Just they say that just to cover their bases. They want to be able to in the future free up memory by deleting the memoized copy of stuff. And for our purposes, that's totally fine. If they want to free up memory by deleting the memoized version, no worries. We're not actually doing any side effects or anything here anyway that we'd need to worry about. So it's just a performance thing. And all they could really do is actually make things faster for us. So it's fine. Okay, sweet. So we're probably going to need to do the same thing for this. React, or no, just use memo. And hold on a second. Okay, we're fine. Hold on a second. Getting a knock on my door. Be right back. So my son came over and said that he got his hair cut and wanted to show me. So I looked, and my other son cut his own hair yesterday. My daughter's done that as well. And so, yeah, so I just wanted to make sure, like, did you cut your own hair, or was this mom fixing my son's hair and you got it cut as well? And that's what it was. So he did not cut his own hair. Okay. Anyway, here we are. This thing wants dispatch probably. Yep, that's all. Very good. And then let's keep on going. So let's come down here. Here's our prop getter for get toggler props. And this is memoized, so that's good. Latest is memoized. Dispatch, let's just double check. Yep, controlled reducer, that's good. Okay, cool. useCallback is shorthand for useMemo. Yeah, it's basically, that's correct. Okay, cool. So get item props now. It's going to be very similar to what we did for the last one. useCallback. And let's see what it wants. Highlighted index. We're going to do latest instead. And then both of those event handlers will just move directly in here. Where's this menu handle mouse leave? Oh, I skipped over that one. And this one. Okay, well, let's use callback. Whoops. Oh, hold on. I'm wrapping that in the wrong spot. Use callback. Whoops. That one's fine. And then use callback. This one's got a bunch of stuff, so let's do latest state, latest current state. Oh, whoops, and return. Rats. Okay, let's do this. Return that, and move this up. And Prettier can fix all that nonsense. So highlighted index will now be latest state.highlighted index is open will be latest state.isOpen. And then these three event handlers can come in here. Oh, that's memoized, so that's fine. And that's a ref. Okay, cool. Sweet. So next, we got use callback on the toggle button props, but this one, oh, that one's fine. And then we have use callback on this one, but I don't think we did this one. Yeah, okay. So we want these two event handlers. And we'll put these right here. We no longer need the index for these, which means we also no longer need to do this. We can just pass it directly, which is quite nice. Ditch that. And then items, we'll no longer do items. This will just be latest current props items. Latest state highlighted index. Let's just do latest props. Okay, so then we can come up here, state, latest state, and props, latest props, latest current. There we go. And highlighted index is still being referenced somewhere right here. Latest state. Sweet, then we can ditch that. Okay, sweet, now let's do the actions. So for all these, should be pretty straightforward. Use callback, dispatch. And then for these ones, not quite as straightforward. Okay, and then this last one, I think is the last one. Sweet, we have memoized. Magic of memoization. Now let's run, use select tests. And indeed, they do pass. Nice. Okay, so then let's get to our multiple selection here. Okay, and let's do, whoops. Use multiple, or memo on the use multiple selection. There we go. This one will bust. Come over here. And I bet you know what we're going to do here. We need this to be our state. And then down here, use latest ref for our state and props. Latest is that. Let's go grab use callback, use memo, and then use latest ref. And then this will say use memo. Oh, okay. Wonder what that could be. Let's find out. Let's go multiple selection, previous. Oh, okay. So it's a string. So that should be fine. Okay, no problem. Okay. And then we'll want to do the same for this. Use memo. Oops. Okay. Sweet. So far, so good. And then our event handlers typically don't need to be memoized, but because we're going to memoize the callbacks that call them, we'll probably just move them directly in like we've been doing. Use callback for this. And what do you want from me, Dan? We're going to take this and this one. Oops. And we'll stick them right here. And then we no longer need the index. And that means we no longer need to do this, which is quite nice. Active index, I think that's state, right? Yeah, so that'll get from latest. State, latest, state, props, latest, props, latest, current. Selected items, that's coming from state. So we've got active index, selected items, coming from state. What is selected item? That is coming from, oh, okay, from the call, the function call. All right, so this can be latest state selected items. Okay. Latest state. Okay, very good. We don't need the latest props here. Use callback. And this. Got those two. We're going to do this. I got to do something really quick. Be right back. All right, I'm back. So somebody asked me if I've looked into recoil. I literally just saw it today, and my thought was, why do I need a state management library for React? I have React. So I've got React and then React Query, and I don't need anything else. React Query manages all my server cache state, and React handles all my UI state, and it works out great. So yeah, I don't have any desire to look into anything else. Okay, cool. So, yeah, we've got the dropdown, handle click. All right, we need to move both of these event handlers into this. So let's do that right there. And then we don't need this anymore. And we can instead take both of those. This one is memoized. Yep, so we're good. Now we just have to update all of these actions. So I think we might be able to do some multiple cursor magic here. Use callback. Dispatch. Yeah. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. Very good. So we've memoized everything successfully, and now let's look at this terrible Git Diff. It's not going to be pretty, believe me. So this will run the commit. Make sure we are not breaking all of the things. It's running all the tests. Kind of want to see the output of that. Ah, there it is. Okay, I messed something up. Too many re-renders. Okay. Well, that's no bueno. And this is for my multiple selections. So here, let's... There's got to be one in here that is something actually useful. Result current active index. Okay, so let's find latest. Everywhere I'm using latest. Huh, I'm literally only using it in one place. Just in this one callback. Interesting. Let's just do that one, I guess. As good as any. My goodness. Well, returns no key down. Doodaloo. See if that one fails. Nope, that one doesn't fail. Okay. R passed down. Okay. Skipped. Huh. Make first selected item active. Okay, there's one that breaks. First selected item active. All right. So key down on input, arrow left. And it's re-rendering in an infinite loop. Okay, so let's just to make sure of something here first. So just rendering it with these values triggers an infinite re-render. We don't even have to do anything for that to fail. Multiple selection props, initial selected items. Oh, actually I wanted that. Huh. Okay. That's interesting. I'm only seeing this in test files and in a prop types definition. I don't see it in the source at all. Weird. Maybe it's some fancy, something fancy's going on here, that's for sure. Okay, so use multiple selection. Take the user props, merge them all together. Now we got our props, we're going to pluck some things off of it. Then use controlled reducer. That's where things probably get fancy. Enhance reducer. Initial. There it is. fancy smancy stuff going on there. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. I don't mind that. So here, let's come back here. Okay, so simply rendering it is all that that triggers this to work. So test can render. Okay, cool. So once I get this working, then I can delete it and figure out what the devil's going on. Can't read property items. Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Oh. That should fail. Okay. Great. So it does need to have some initial state. I wonder if I only have one. Okay, so okay, so from here, what if I return null? Just see if it's something in our test component that's doing something wrong. Okay. Well, here, let's grab this guy. Oops. Test. Wait. Return null. Oh, actually. Okay. Then render test. Okay. Okay, so that is passing. When it fails is when I specify initial selected, whatever. Okay, that's passing. So that tells me that it's quite possible the reason this is failing is the test component. So let's grab multiple selection and combo box. Interesting. Huh. Let me see if they've got a demo of that. Yeah, they do. Okay. What does this thing even do? Oh, I see. Interesting. Okay. I can dig it. Then, okay, so what we're going to do then is I'm going to come back over to this test. We're going to back all this out. Get to this point. This one fails, right? Yep. Okay. So wait, I'm confused. That should not have failed the way that it did. That's weird. I didn't make any changes here. What's up? I passed a function called with items instead of just passing the function. Give me some more context with index, okay? Instead of passing the function. Okay, so if you can give me some more clarity, that would be super duper. Right there, boom, thank you. And that would absolutely trigger an infinite doodad. So I don't want to investigate that any further. So let's go to multi. Whoops. Oh well. Run all the tests and see what happens. What did I do wrong? Dang it. I messed something up with the render multiple combo box. I did something wrong. What did I do wrong? Okay, here, let's look at our status here. Let's check out source hooks, use multiple selection, tests, get drop down props test. Now let's try, and probably the test utils, huh? Let's get a Git Diff of that. Oh, huh. I know, I didn't save my changes there. There we go. Okay, whew. That's better. Thank you so much for your help. Okay, it's true. I'm avoiding saying your name because I know I can't get it right. Michael. Yep, I think that's what it is. At some point you change a bunch of function calls. Yeah, thank you. I think you're 15 seconds behind or further maybe behind me. But if you click on the little button here, let me show you something. It's kind of fun. So you've got this. Oh, this is what I see. Hopefully it doesn't show you anything that you shouldn't know. Anyway, there should be, where is it? If we go to this thing, I don't have that playing normally. Right here. So if you're like back a little bit, you can click skip ahead to live broadcast and get up to the latest as fast, and it looks like this is maybe about 15 seconds behind. So anyway, thanks so much for your help. That saved it. Okay, sweet. So now let's add all the things and run my fancy CA command that I run, which I can't even remember what that alias is, but you can find my dot files and find out what it is. And it's running all the tests, and they shouldn't break, but I'm glad that we have them. Wow, the flow coverage stuff looks kind of fancy. Getting a bunch of ESLint errors and stuff. I don't know how that's working, but let's just do this. This is pretty easy. Just require actual. I don't like making unrelated changes in PRs, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So man, this is wild. I created all these build steps and stuff. This is all in KCD scripts. It's amazing. Look, we're running Cypress as well. That's wild. Is that a Gatsby app? We got a Gatsby app in the house. Cypress. Docs. I think that was Gatsby. No, that was something else. What was that? Huh. Build and test. Docs build. Oh, it's DocZ, which I'm guessing is built on top of Gatsby these days. That's cool. Yeah, I actually put DocZ in place now that I think about it. So that happened. Look at how much confidence I'm looking at right now. I mean, it's taking a while, but boy, I am happy to have it take a while to get the confidence I just got. Things actually work. It's not busted. All right, sweet. So just change a bunch of jest things, added to test, and then kaboom! Just obliterated everything. Yeah, this Git Diff is not going to be fun. Yikes. Sheesh. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that this is as good as it's going to get, though. And then my utils change, which wasn't too much. All right. I think we're good. Whoops. Okay. Feature. Hooks. Memoize all callbacks. And this will close my issue 1050 closes, number that. This PR memoizes all callbacks returned from downshift. So we can memoize function components and pass callbacks in effect and or in dependency arrays. Yep, that's all I'm going to say here. Ooh, I don't want to push on master. Boy, that would not be nice. Let's make a branch here. Memoize. I'm going to go back to master. Whoa. Man. Hold on a second. Gotta get browse here. Let me grab my SSH thing. Get remote set URL origin git push. And then that popped open in the wrong window, so let's grab that. That's the Y. This is the what. Let's just clean that up. This was a bit tricky, but basically the way we made this work properly to avoid the issues brought up in 1050 is by making a latest ref, which contains the props and state, latest version of props and state, and then we could reference that in our memoized callbacks without having memoization broken whenever those values changed, because our callbacks all only care about the latest values anyway. This is the way the class-based downshift works as well. Had to memoize the dispatch function as well. Hopefully a minimal impact there. Okay, so NA, got the tests. This is an NA and an NA, and I think it's ready, assuming the builds pass. And I'm going to request a review here, and now I want to take a look at that build. All right, I don't want to take a look at that build. What I want to work on next is, I guess I can continue working on this, because my friend who will be reviewing and merging this is in Prague, and what time is, I looked this up earlier actually. Yeah, it's 11 p.m. Unlikely that he'll be wanting to do any downshift work right now, so just going to leave that to be as it is, and we can come back to that later. So that's fun. Okay, cool. So we'll get that working. Let me close this out and come back over here. So now, I was in the middle of doing something, making some changes here. This is going to send the highlighted index, yada yada. We're going to be like, hey, that doesn't really memoize super great. And we're like, but don't worry, we can add this nonsense. Wow, what's wrong with you? And then we'll come in and be like, actually, you can make this way better by just only passing primitive values. And then once we get to this point, then the only thing that's not memoized is this get item props, which is why all of these are re-rendering, is because get item props is changing. And one of these is re-rendering for another reason. They've got to. That one will re-render for a good reason. So this first one re-rendered because the get item props changed and the highlighted index changed, as did the second one. Oh, hold on a second. I'm looking at the wrong one. I want to look at the extra credit here. So if we go extra2.js, and then we go boom, and highlight and unhighlight, then this changed because get item props changed and is highlighted changed, and then the rest of these only changed because the get item props changed. And so once we get that memoization magic happening, and actually, you know what? Let's just do this for funsies, just to make sure that works. I'm going to copy from our, from desktop, downshift, dist, downshift ESM to node modules, downshift, dist, downshift ESM. And then, I don't know if I guess I'll just trigger a rebuild. Hopefully that works. We do this, we do that, we do this, we do that. Boom. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It totally works. And so I may as well just add that. With these changes, my example goes from this to this. And I think I'll just kind of cheat here. Hey, is that one of you watching, or did that just happen? We'll copy link address. Oh no, we'll copy image URL. Image address, there we go. There we go. Booyah. Sweet glory. That works. That makes me feel good. All nice and tingly inside. Very good. So with that now, yeah, so I changed things up a little bit, and I'm super glad that I did, because this is cool and all, and this will work. So let's take a look at one. If we do that, and boom, and come back, and there it is. But like, what a total nightmare. And in fact, I don't think that it even works quite as well either. Because I believe if we change the selected item, like we're not doing the same thing for checking the selected item, I think. Because it was like basically impossible. Yeah, if the selected item changes, then they all re-render. So if we go like this, and then choose it, and then that, when that selected item changes, they all re-render because that selected item. But for this one, we'll go like this, do, boom, and then, yeah, this is the only, or this is the biggest render. Yeah, sick, yo. All right, so, and it was the, here, let's clear that out. We'll record, we'll highlight, we'll click, and then we'll stop. And then over here, we'll clear that out. And we'll record, we'll highlight, we'll click, and then we'll stop. Okay, so we get 5 renders for both of these. Oh wait, they're both on 2. What the devil? No, this one we want on 1. Okay, so let's do this again. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so both 5 renders, but one of these things is not like the other. So notice that these are relative. So just because like they're really small ones over here does not mean that this one's better. It just means that we have one that is bigger than the rest, whereas all of these are pretty similar to the rest. And that one is that second commit. If we look at that second commit for both of these, boom, that's the whole purpose of the extra credit right there. Well, that and the one that's worse has this really complicated, convoluted mess, and the one that's better doesn't have that at all. It doesn't even need it. It's just like, oh, we'll just memorize all this stuff and it's going to be great. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, it's very good. All right, sweet. So I'm going to be able to teach people how to be fast. It's going to be awesome. I pronounced your name correctly, Michael. Ha. Yes, I think that's how I said it. What text editor and dev tool are you using? Would love to see a blog post. So here you go. Everything that I use is on my uses page. All right, sweet. I'm super thrilled about this. So I am changing how this exercise goes pretty significantly. So I'm going to come over here. And I used to just say, hey, here's how you test the, or how you memoize an external component. But that was like, psh, who cares about that? No way. So what we're going to do instead is, wouldn't it be even better to not have to provide our custom comparator? That's what I call it, right? It's a comparator, comparison function. Doodaloo. I don't call this, yeah. Memoization comparator function. And still get the perf gains? Definitely. So an alternative approach is to pass the pre-computed values to our list item. Then, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. I've not worked much with the React profile. It looks really good. Yeah, it is. And guess what? I'm going to teach you all about how to use it on Epic React Dev. Never miss a chance to sell, especially when you can look at this. Isn't that fancy? Look at that. I just think that's awesome. And watch this as I refresh. It comes zooming in. Oh my goodness. It is so awesome. Yeah, this is a fun page. I didn't build that. That was Vojta. I can't remember his last name, but he's awesome. Okay, so an alternative approach is to pass the precompiled value or pre-computed values to our list item. Values for is selected and is highlighted to our list item, and that way they are primitive values, and we can take advantage of React's built-in comparison function. Move ours all together. So for the additional benefit to this is when you select an item, only the selected item needs a re-render. Okay, so for this extra credit, try to accept an is selected and is highlighted prop to list item, so you don't have to pass the frequently changing values for selected item and highlighted index. Okay, sweet. So then, comparator, spell comparator, define. Is that the right word? No entries found for comparator. Oh, come on. Comparator. Okay, that's probably the word I'm trying to spell here. So I was spelling it wrong. Comparator. Very good. All right. I was thinking comparison, so there would be an I. I don't know. Makes sense. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, right. The thing that I wanted to do here to make this exercise easier, or this extra credit, is we're going from here, where we're doing these inline whatsy things, to moving it to an is highlighted prop. So something that'll make that a lot easier is if instead this was is selected Whoops. And this is highlighted. See, there we go. That's looking stellar. And then we can actually just copy all of this for this one also. Whoops. And that'll make it significantly easier for people to make that leap, that mental leap, since we're already assigning a variable to it. It's these little things, my friends, these little things that I spend countless hours making awesome, so it's really easy for people to understand what I'm doing. And I love it. I love my job. Okay, great. So this is going to be good. Now, I started with exercise 4 doing all of this stuff, but now I need to make a bunch of changes. So exercise 4 is about virtualization. So I'm going to take exercise 3, or with the extra credit 2. We're going to paste this in here now, and we're going to just add the virtualization features. So I'm going to come up here. And I need just these values, I think. And I'm no longer memoizing. I think we just ditched that, yeah. Let's ditch the memoization. And actually, you know what? I don't think I need to worry about... Oh, no, because I changed the way I style this stuff too. So, yeah, let's just... Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just grab all this. Paste language, JavaScript. Okay. Okay, sweet. So now we're on 04. Let's go to exercise 4. Final. It's busted. Okay, here we go. So then I'll come down here, and one thing that I absolutely know I'm going to need to do is ditch this. We're just going to call this items. Okay, and then I know I'm going to need my React Virtual import up here, so we'll grab that. And then we'll need this stuff down here. And yeah, let's see, my scroll into view and that stuff. We're going to want to copy that right there, because we're saying, hey, I don't really care for you to do your own scrolling thing. I'm going to do my own thing. Yeah, that's going to be good. Okay. And then my menu is going to need to change. And I'm pretty sure all I need to add is the virtual rows and the total height and the list item ref. List item ref, or is that what I called it? List ref. List ref. List ref. There we go. We'll add those at the bottom. And this will be those props. We'll need to accept those. Isn't there like a, I think it's Alt? No, maybe it's Shift Alt. No, what? There, I know that there's a shortcut to do multiple cursors. There it is. Yeah, it's Shift Control. I want to grab those, and we'll paste them all right here. And then we'll take that list ref. Say ref is list ref. Okay. And then we need this li for the total height. And then all of this list item thing is going to change a bit. But I think I've got a better way to do this. So this is going to be virtual rows, and this is a virtual row. And we're going to grab all this, return that, And we're going to get our item from this thing. Okay. And so then this is our item, get item props, index is going to be virtual row.index. Here, and actually let's do index is that. And I feel like virtual row size and start. So we just want the index, size, and start. So rather than this, we'll just do index, size, and start. And then our, we need to do some inline styles here. There we go. And that should work. Let's take a look. No, highlighted is busted, so let's figure out highlighted index, selected item, item ID, index. Oh, because I'm not accepting style here. There we go. Woohoo! And look, I can just go for days because virtualization's awesome. But look at this, on the exercise version, not so blessed. I'm pressing, but you're not even seeing it because every single time I make a state change, we're re-rendering, I don't know, a lot of items. I can't even remember. Let's find out. Console log items length. How many items we got? 16,657 items. Yeah, that's how many items we got. So yeah, don't render that much stuff is kind of the advice here. Salt Lake City. Ta-da! Nice. Booyah, and this passed. Super happy. Oh, I was going to do some inline comments here. Was getting ESLint errors for this. Require actual is deprecated in favor of just require actual. Okay. And then this is just a simple test to make sure nothing is changed between re-renders when nothing has changed. Upside down face. Before my changes, this test would fail. All right. Sweet. And then I'm so... Here, let's add it here. I'm super duper sorry about, well, I can add that as my final comment. Mostly formatting. I just wanted to be able, changes, to get the, to create the state variable so I could use it later in use latest ref. This just exists so we can use latest in our callbacks without worrying about these values breaking memoization. Most of everything below here is formatting changes due to memoization. And in fact, if we do w equals 1, so disable white space, does this look any better? Huh, that's weird. Input handle key down. Oh, actually, yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, the input key down handlers. Yeah, right here, this whole thing looks a lot better right here. So it will be minorly easier to review this with white space disabled. Changes ignored. There you go. Actually, that's how I'm going to look at it. Even though I don't know, can you add comments when you have white space? Oh, that's pretty new, I think. Everywhere we were using or referencing state directly in our memoization or use memo and use callback. We replaced with latest, our latest ref. So we didn't have or don't have to worry breaking memoization. Note, there's a good reason that this isn't the default for React hooks. In general, this is not a great idea. However, for our for the use case of this library and the way these callbacks are called, it makes perfect sense. Typically during the render phase, we don't really need to worry about preserving old closures. Okay. All of the event handlers have been moved inside the useCallback calls for the prop getters used inside the prop getters that used them. This made it much easier to memoize. Otherwise, we'd have to memoize each of these as well, which is fine, but just extra work for both us and, well, and the JavaScript engine. Git is funny. This is the end of the memoization. Prop getters. I should have changed that. Well. The prop getter functions kinda got destroyed with regard to the Git Diff. Tanner Lindsley is providing a lot of interesting things to the React ecosystem. Looking at his GitHub account, yes, Tanner is doing awesome stuff. Big fan of Tanner. Tan the man, TanStack, hashtag. He's awesome. Big fan of Tanner. Here's what happened happened for each of them. Memoized via useCallback. Moved all event handlers inside the prop getter function. Swapped any reference to props or state with latest.current.props and latest.current.state. Everything else is unchanged. Okay. Here, actually, add with dependencies on primarily on only things which are also memoized or are refs. Dispatch, latest, or input key down handlers. Things like input key down handlers. Update. There we go. Okay. All the actions got memoized. These were pretty straightforward. And all simply needed the dispatch as the dependency, which is itself memoized, so they should be stable. All right. Downshift is a library that I wrote 3 years ago, a long time ago, and now for creating enhanced inputs for stuff like for stuff like this, where you can type in a search term and it'll keep this updated. Normally you'll have this as like a drop down that opens up, so it has manages state for is open, but I just leave it open so that it's easier in our example. But yeah, so it manages the selected item and all that stuff. So like combo box type things. Before hooks came around, I passed this on to another maintainer, and he's been working on making hooks versions of everything. And with Epic React, I decided I started with my prop, the render prop component that I built years ago. But I decided let's switch over to hooks for that along with everything else, and found a couple of things that needed to be updated. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so then let's see if there's anything different. Yeah, the rest of this is all basically the same. This is all just to memoize the dispatch function. Behavior stays the same, but now you can pass dispatch to memoized function or to dependency arrays. Okay. Okay, that's fine. That comment should suffice. Super sorry about the Git Diff disaster here. Formatting really botched some of this stuff. However, hopefully it makes sense. Hopefully what we're doing makes sense, and I added inline comments to make it as straightforward as possible. I only commented on the useCombobox, but the other hooks got this same treatment, and the comments apply pretty generally. Hopefully that helps. Okay. How's Epic React going? It's going great. I'm actually feeling super duper happy about this stuff. I think it's awesome. Really happy. And so, yeah, so I just am in the process of switching from the render prop downshift to the hook, and also switching to React Virtual. I used to use React Window. I still got a bunch of references in that. I need to update all the exercise files so that they're set up for this change. But yeah, really, yeah, super happy about the changes that we're making here. We're going to ditch that. We don't need to memoize when we only have like 100 of them on the page. It's fine. So we can actually ditch this as well, which is also nice. Sweet. So now here, let's take a look at the Git Diff. No index between source final 03.extra2 and source final 04.js. So here's all that changes. Oh, whoops. I thought that was funny. Should only have 2 comments at the top. There we go. So yeah, here we go. All that changed was I brought in use virtual from React Virtual. I added 2 props to the menu. That seems excessive, but yeah, I guess they decided you changed pretty much everything. But yeah, I added a ref to this get menu props call here. I added an li for the style right there, just to make this UL as tall as it should be. And then we added virtual rows. All that I really did here was add this style right here. Everything else is pretty much what it was before. Yeah, and then we're iterating over virtual rows rather than items specifically. So we were doing items before, now we're not. We're no longer memoizing, we don't need to. We forward along the style, so that works. That's nice, not too much work. And I could probably do that for you, except the style is kind of relevant to what we're learning, so I'm going to leave that in. And then instead of taking all items and then slicing them, we're just going to take all the items, all 16,000 of them, 16,657 to be exact. And then we're going to use the row virtualizer with that. It's going to be great. And then we'll override the scroll into view from downshift to say, hey, I don't want you to scroll anything. And instead, whenever the highlight index changes, I'm going to have the row virtualizers do the scrolling. So that's cool. I added, I requested a feature be added. Oh no, I made a pull request about this to make it so you don't have to override the scroll into view, and it just does nothing. The built-in one does nothing, which is when it's not needed to be done anyway. This is probably something worthy of leaving in anyway, though. And then we just forward along these props, and that's it. Not a whole lot of changes to add virtual scrolling, which I think is sweet. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Super happy about that. So, yeah, so he's probably asleep, so I'm going to stop looking at that. Got it done. 10:51. Just comment there for anybody looking. All right. Good. So let's take a look at 0.5 moves on to a different example entirely, and we're done with downshift from there. So it's just these ones that are updated. So with all of that in mind, now I've got to go update the beginner stuff because this is all still using the downshift component, which is using a render prop, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, this is actually pretty easy because most of the code changes for each one of these is like really minimal code changes necessary for these. So I'm actually just going to grab this guy, move him up here, paste that here, and then move him back down to where that memoization is taking place. Right there. And yeah, and that's it. So let's go to exercise 02, and this will be 02 on the final. Okay, so the exercise one, it's like, wow, this is, oh wait, no, it was, yeah, actually this will be slow. Check this out. We go to profiler, or yeah, we want to do the performance profiler here. Go 6x slowdown, hit record, highlight something, stop recording. This will actually be way better because before you had to click the force re-render. I think I may be able to get away with removing that entirely. So yeah, on this mouse over thing right here, look at that. Look at that monstrosity. But when we're done, then we go 6x slowdown, hit record, highlight something, stop recording, and hold on a second. That should not have happened. Let's figure out what's going on. So on 02 final, we use memo on that input value. Oh wait, we've got to have a value in here for this to have any difference anyway. So let's put in a value. Huh. How did we do that before? Oh right, you select one. Okay, and then we hit record, and we highlight something, and we go away, and we stop, and yeah, both of those state changes take forever, highlighting it and then going away. And the reason that they take forever is right here, get items, boom, just an explosion of something that takes forever. That match sorter could definitely be faster. Okay, but then on this side of things, we select an item, and then we hit record, we highlight something, then we go away, we stop, and I never know what that, okay, here, let's start this over. Okay, we're gonna hit record, I'm gonna click over here for a second, and then we're gonna highlight over this, boom, and then highlight out. There we go. Okay, so I don't know what that first giant red thing is. This happens every time when I mouse over the body. I have no idea what that is. But here's the part where I highlighted over this. Way better. So whereas before it was, how long is this? I mean, remember we're 6x slowdown, so, and we're also development. It'll be way faster in production, and that's something that I'll teach you. But yeah, so we've got our mouse move takes 105 milliseconds on development and all that. This one took 517 milliseconds. Yeah, one of those is better than the other. That's what I'm teaching you. It's going to be great. Thanks to useMemo. All right, sweet. So that one's good. Let's go ahead and move on to number 3. And 3 here. Yeah, so 3 is all about just using react.memo. So this one's really easy. Just copy this, come down here, and we've got some emoji right here. Just gonna cut that, cut this, oh whoops, cut that. And then I've got clipboard magic here with Alfred, so I can make all this work nicely. And the list item. Sweet. So now those, that one's ready to rock and roll. This is nice. Normally, there's actually a lot more stuff you have to do for my workshops, like a lot more code you have to write. So there's a lot more help from the emoji. But this one, it actually, you spend more of your time improving the, or in the dev tools than anywhere else. And so you don't need to worry about it. Okay, so anyway, we're going to come over here, copy this from 0.3 extra and go to 4 because that's going to be the starting point. This one, there is quite a bit more code, so I'm going to just paste it down here. And we'll ditch that and that. And then, let's see. So before I said, hey, I'm just going to do a bunch of the integration stuff with these libraries so you don't have to worry about it. And I'll just do that for you. But now I'm kind of thinking that integration isn't a whole lot of stuff that you need to do. Yeah, so yeah, we definitely want to accept the style prop here. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to keep any of this stuff. Yeah, this is going to be so much better than it was before. Yep, I'm not going to keep any of this old stuff. I'm going to write it brand new. Okay, so what we need to do here is accept the virtual rows. Let's see, let's compare this with the final version. So we got virtual rows, the list ref, virtual rows. You know what? Maybe I should do that list ref stuff. No, I want them to do it all. Okay, so accept the list ref, virtual rows, and total height right here. Pass the list ref to the get menu props prop getter function below, and then I'll use Marty the money bag to help with that. Get menu props ref list ref, because that's not super pertinent to what they're learning, so we can do that. Okay, and then this is Cody the Koala Bear. Add a li here with an inline style for the height set to the total height. This is to ensure that the scrollable area of the UL, oh, not UR, UL, is the full height of the menu, or full height, or the same height it would be if we were actually rendering everything. Okay, cool. And then instead of render mapping the items, we're going to map over the virtual rows. Swap. 1 second. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna swap items with virtual rows. A virtual row is an object with the following properties. This is more of a Marty the Moneybag thing. Index, size, start. You can use this to get the items via, or the item via items index. Set the style, the height to this value. This is how far from the top. How many pixels this item should be. Okay. Delete the second argument of index. You can get that from the virtual row object. Okay, and this one is going to be pretty complicated, but I think if you're learning about performance in React, you are at that level. So I think it's going to be all right. So now we're going to pass a style prop here, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually make this a little bit easier. We're going to take this, get virtual row styles. Size, height, or no, not height. We want the size, start. Okay, and we're not going to make them write that. We'll just give that to them. Okay, and then we'll need to ignore that. No unused version here. Okay. So then and you can get the inline styles from the get virtual row styles. just make sure to pass the size and start. The height of the row and the start where the row starts, I guess. Yep. Relative to the scroll top of its container. There we go. Good. And then this accept the style prop. Spread the incoming styles onto this style object. Okay, sweet. And that is it. Oh wait, no, not it. We have yet more to do, and that is list ref. Create a list ref with React use ref. Which will be used for the parent ref option you pass to use virtual and should be applied to the UL for our menu. This is how React Virtual knows how to scroll our items as the user scrolls. Okay, sweet. And then call use virtual. Here, we're going to need to import that. So import the use virtual hook from React. Yeah, and you know what? I don't mind just giving that to you. You don't need me to make you guess how to do that. Okay, so then down here, with the following configuration options: size, the number of items. Oh, and actually, we can get rid of that. Parent ref, the list ref you created above. Estimate size, a memoized callback function that returns the estimated or the size of for each item. In our case, every item has the same size. So this will do. I'll just give that to them. I don't want them to stew over that. Then over scan the number of additional rows to render outside the scrollable view. Okay, sweet. You can play around with that number. 10 is pretty. You probably don't need more than 10. Okay, sweet. And then down here, we want to override the downshifts scroll into view functionality. Because React Virtual will handle scrolling for us. I'm just going to give that set scroll into view to a no op function. When the highlighted index changes, then tell React Virtual set the return value of use virtual call to row virtualizer. Okay. To scroll to that index. All right, there we go. And then the last thing is the menu, right? Yeah. Pass the following props. List ref, virtual rows, and total height. Okay. Great. That one's pretty good. Now I need to change all of this because it's no longer with React Window. Instead, it is React Virtual. I'm gonna save this, close that. Okay. Yep, my favorite changed. It happens. All right, and then we're going to actually bring this thing back. Oh, there we go. It's very confused there for a second. Okay. Okay. Okay, sweet. React window. Oh, my test. Yeah. And this should be React virtual. And virtual. Okay, so then this one will be React virtual. And npm uninstall React window. Okay, sweet. Then let's just get these tests fixed as well. These tests are not good tests, by the way. They're bad tests. But it's tricky to write tests that make sure people are doing things correctly without writing bad tests. So, okay. Gotta stand. Actually, I'm gonna grab a little snack. 1 second. Okay. Sorry, this is gonna be kind of rude of me to eat in front of the 20 of you who are still... Oh, 19. It was 20. So, but I'm hungry. Oh, now it's 21. Cool. I'm gonna mute myself for a little bit while I chew on this. All right, now I can talk since I am no longer eating that thing. I need water. So actually, I'll be right back. This is kind of fun though. So what I was doing before was mocking out the React window, so to make sure that people were using React window correctly. But this time, I'm actually going to have 100 fake items and render them all and just make sure that there aren't 100 LIs, that there should only be, less than 30 or 40. So yeah, I think that'll be cool. So I'll be right back. Just gonna get some water. Gotta stay hydrated. Okay, great. In your testing JavaScript course, it felt a little weird that you taught us about testDataBot and then proceeded to write manual builder functions for the rest of the courses. Totally get it, by the way. Just interesting. Did I do that? Manual builder functions? I don't remember. Once I introduced testDataBot, I thought that I can't remember. It's possible that I didn't use testDataBot in the node module. That's possible. I can't remember now. But when I review it again, if you noticed something specific that seemed kind of weird, then do let me know, because I will be updating testing JavaScript later this year, probably after Epic React is released. Okay, cool. So now I've got my fake items. Yeah, it was probably the node one. Yeah, and that one kind of makes sense that I didn't, because that was based on a workshop where I hadn't taught testDataBot. But I think in the update I'll probably use testDataBot. Yeah, I'm also really interested in Epic React. It's like consuming my whole brain. Look at this. Right now, I've got, if I go to my ScreenFlow files, this is where I'm at right now. So I've got an intro to the whole Epic React course. Oh, I have my WAT. That should probably be over here. That's not related. Yeah, and how to set up all the workshops. And then there are 31 files for fundamentals, 32 for the hooks, 22 for advanced hooks, 21 for advanced patterns. And then I'm working on performance right now. There were 6 for just the first exercise, code splitting, fun stuff. And then 39 for testing. And then I've got suspense, and then like 4 other workshops for like building React applications. So yeah, so much stuff. So much stuff. I didn't tweak anything actually with Night Owl, but if you want to look at anything that I use, then my uses page, we'll link you to my VS Code settings and everything. You can look at all of that. Okay, great. So now, yeah, and get items will resolve to this promise that resolves to those things. So then we'll wait for that promise to resolve, and then we can make all of our assertions here. So let me just comment that out for now. Let's get these things running. And I need to save this file. So it's good that the other ones are still working. By the way, the other ones are still working. I switched from the render prop to the hook version. I didn't have to change anything. What? That is what is awesome about tests that are written well. I went there, and you also asked you in a PR. Was this recently? Because if you did it recently, I'll check my email. Yeah, I don't have anything in my email, so I may have missed it. So if you want to like link it to me or something, I don't know if you can share links, but yeah, sorry. I'm distracted by my email here. Okay. Okay, sweet. Yeah, see, now I got all distracted by email. All right, coming back. We are back. We're in this. We're going to write this test, and it's going to be awesome. So we're going to wait for that promise to resolve. Functions are not valid. Huh, that's interesting. My li. Gosh dang it, this jerk. Okay, I'm going to turn off chat. How frustrating. Can you think of something better to do with your life? I don't know. Where does happiness come from? Probably not from being a jerk to other people. Okay, cool. So now, by the way, I'm actually thinking about switching from streaming on YouTube to somewhere else where I have a little bit more control over who watches my stuff. So there's that. Okay. So let's go ahead and we'll grab screen from this. Oh, we've already got it. Sweet. So screen debug. Save that. I'm going to bring this up. And actually, I only want to run 04. Okay, so we've got a bunch of LIs, but we've only got 10, even though there would be 100. So if I swap these, then it should show me I've got 100 of them. Yeah, we get a ... right there. Sweet. Good. So now I can assert, or let's do option. So we'll expect query or get all by role option to have length less. Is there like, I wonder if Jest has something like this. To have length less than okay, I guess dot length to be less than 50, or I guess once they've got less than a 90, I guess then we should be good. Looks like the all of the items are being rendered. Make sure you using use virtual and you're rendering or mapping over the virtual rows rather than the actual items. See, so now, honestly, I don't need to actually interact with it or anything. That's fine. What is this? Maybe it's something weird with my generated data. Yeah, let's just do that. Oh, name is not a function. Let's do call that thing. There we go. Sweet. Great. So then we swap these. Let's get rid of this console log. Don't need that anymore. And we should get an error. This isn't normally a thing that you can do, but I made it work. So I can add a message here so that I can have this nice Albert the alert. Or Alfred. I think it's Alfred. Now I can't remember. Read me. Alert. Yeah, Alfred the alert. Albert the alert seems to make more sense though. Okay, so expected less than 100 but rendered 100. And it looks like all the items are being rendered. Make sure you're using use virtual and you're mapping over the virtual rows rather than the actual items. Sweet. I think that's all. I don't need to do any more than that. So good. We're in a pretty good spot there. So we're just gonna save that. Yep. And switch these back. And it should pass with flying colors. Okay. And then yeah, I think we're ready to rock and roll. Update or switch to hooks and React virtual. There we go. Let's get this working. Okay. Sweet. Now we'll push that up and get it all built up and awesome looking. And we'll just wait until tomorrow, hopefully, or in the next few days, when we'll be able to, there we go, actually have that other memoization feature working, which will be great. But I can actually record the videos without that finished, because I'm just going to assume that it is. Oh, rats. Did I not save that? For crying out loud. All right. Save that. Oh, nope, don't want to save that one. Just kidding. Delete. So that's all. Typo. Okay. Sweet. So then the other thing that I need to work on, because I don't have time to record, is well, let's do some open source stuff here. I just barely got this notification. Yeah, okay. I don't need to worry about that. That's fine. And here's something also related to Epic React, is removes import CSS and DevTools and fix typos. I think you will not need this anymore since you're using Emotion. I think though, oh right, DevTools ID. Yes, that is correct. Very good. And I've got a typo. Sweet, thanks, person. So we go to bookshelf, and I'll pull that up. So this is the build a React app repo that we're going to be using. And it's awesome. And we're going to the DevTools. Here, we can just destroy that thing. We don't need it. And we can ditch this. And then he said I had a typo. Enable dev2s. Nice. Thanks. Pretty sure I added them for bug reports for last bug. Yeah, that was nice of them. So remove unused CSS and the world explodes. No, just kidding. And fix typo. Oh, and actually, I want that. I don't know. Hold on. We'll just do this. Closes. Number 54. And then this is going to take forever. So check this out. So it runs all of the tests. And we also have some Cypress tests in here. Not a lot, but a couple Cypress tests in here. And then once the Cypress tests run and are finished, and as part of that, of course, it's running the build as well, which runs all the linting and everything too. And once that has completed, eventually, this is why I don't use Cypress for everything. I use Jest, because Cypress is awesome, but it is very slow compared to Jest. So the next thing it does is it actually, as a post commit, so the commit is already finished, but after the commit, it goes into every one of the branches, the exercise branches, because all of the exercises are in separate branches, and it updates that exercise to to the latest version. So we're always one commit ahead of master for each and every one of these, which is pretty rad, I think. So fun stuff. Okay, sweet. Let me just check out this. Thumbs up. Very good. All right, sweet. Doing pretty well. Now I just have the React newsletter to read through. And the way I normally go through that is I just look at headlines, authors, sometimes look at the text contents a little bit. And React Virtual made it. Booyah. I thought it was awesome before it was awesome. Actually, it was always awesome. But man, big fan of what Tanner does. He's awesome. Hey, Tanner, I contributed ideas and a bug. No, not a bug, just ideas. Maybe I contributed a bug. I think I've reported a bug. It's not a big deal. Okay, cool. So this is going to take forever because I think it doesn't show it, but I think that it actually is running the build for some of these sometimes or something. I'm not sure why it takes so long sometimes. It seems to take a really long time sometimes. But yeah, now it seems to be running pretty quick. It's just running a handful of scripts and stuff. You'd run that in, or check that out in the scripts directory. The update exercises, it's pretty cool. When testing a product like Code Sandbox, for instance, how would you test it? Do it all in Jest and render the full app with RTL and user event, or would you test separate components? So I've written about this. It's a common question. There's the trophy that kind of talks about the different levels, but then there's also what test talks about kind of how I decide what is important to test. And it's a mix for sure. So yeah, you're definitely going to have all elements of the testing trophy on something like Code Sandbox. I would definitely have some tests that render the full app, even in Jest, and mock out the backend. But then I would have some tests that are like unit tests for the low level stuff, all kinds of stuff. So, okay, sweet. Now we've got that updated, and check this out. Here's what's awesome about this. So if we go to Netlify, the React bookshelf deploys. Why is this taking so long? High performance, LOL. No, just kidding. Everybody goes slow sometimes. But look, I have a branch deploy for every one of my exercise branches. So you can check out exercise 06 cache management bookshelf.lol. And here is the deployed version of that. And to take it a step even further, the extra credits are also deployed. So you can look at the exercise version of the app right here, or you can look at the final version of the app. So what you're working toward, or you can look at the extra credit 6 version of the app. So they're all deployed. It is it is awesome. It is so awesome. Yeah, definitely fanboying on myself right now, but yeah, this is really great. Okay, sweet. So I got that taken care of. I need to do more testing because I'm going to be teaching how to test in that repo too. And I only have 10 exercises. I mean, only that they're really big and lots of extra credits on each one. But I'm also going to need exercises for testing and stuff as well, and I don't have those yet. So that's one thing I need to do. It's only 4:30 my time, so I've got some more time to do stuff. The next thing that I wanted to work on, now that my performance workshop is up and ready to go, again, yeah, and I'm pretty happy with. Oh, did I get my? Oh, I wanted to do. Oh no, that'll be part of the app actually. Yeah, that'll be part of the app. It'll be fine. So this performance one is good. So the next thing I need to do is go to my React Suspense workshop, and I'm going to change drastically our last example of suspense list, because it's pretty cool and all, but it is not cool enough, and it is a little bit confusing, pretty contrived, kind of hard to really get a sense for what it is and what it does. So first thing I'm going to do is update all the things except for React and React DOM rets. Let's find out if we've got a new version of those, because we want to be on the latest alpha or experimental. That's 3.3. Yeah, we need a new version. So we'll grab that, go to our package JSON, React. Okay, and then that's flush npm. Okay, and while that's rolling, we're gonna say this is old news. And I'm gonna make a new 07.js. And we're still gonna teach the same thing, but we're going to do it significantly differently. So the way it was before is like an app and we're loading different things. What it's going to be now is, let's see, this is still that thing. We're going to have it be like a chat sort of thing, where you are entered in at like after you've chatted with this person forever. And so you can scroll up and see previous chats and things. And then we'll also have new chats as they come in and stuff. So sweet, we've got this up and running. Here, let me just get this. Export default app. Huh, weird. I'm gonna do reload. There's something weird going on. So Tudor just asked, can you please say an approximate date of release for Epic for React Epic? It's Epic React. No, I won't, but I will tell you the order of magnitude is months. We're not talking weeks or days. This is a months thing for sure. But something exciting is coming to Epic React in weeks. So you will want to be geared up for that. In fact, it's just about 2.5 weeks. It's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. And then there is something exciting coming next week from Chats with Kent, the podcast. That one's going to be fun. So look forward to the next couple weeks because they're going to be sweet. Okay, so there we go. Something's kablooied, and it's this 07 thing because I moved it. We'll move it right there. Okay, something else is busted. Create root is not a function. Well, that's interesting. Huh. Okay, so let's figure that out. We're going to import React from React, import React DOM from React DOM, window, React, and DOM. Okay. React DOM dot unstable create root. Oh, interesting. So let's do our diff checker here. Let's go unpackage React DOM. Yeah. I'm gonna grab that. Or actually we want at, what was my previous version? I don't remember what my previous version was, but I can find out. So the previous version was this. I'm guessing what they did is they were getting tired of people like me making courses on this stuff and making it seem like this was more ready than it really is. And so they, even on the experimental, they changed it back to unstable, which is fine. Just means I'll have to do a little bit of extra work that I don't want to do, but I will. Come on. It's not letting me select. Exit. Okay. I want this one, actually. Okay, so here's the old. Why can't I select all? Come on. Select. All right. What the junk? There we go. Okay. What? My computer is having trouble, I guess. Maybe it's still downloading or something. I don't know. Yeah, okay, so. Nope. What in the world? Okay. I do this a lot. Should not be causing so much trouble. Well, okay, whatever. I'm just guessing that the only difference... No, I want to find out. I want to see what changed between these two versions. Save this one to my desktop. Save this one as newer to my desktop. And then we'll pop this open. And here's the new one. And here is the old one. Find that difference. Are you for real? Okay, we're gonna git diff with no index, desktop, React DOM, development.js. Oh, here we go. Whoa, we've got a lot of differences. They moved a ton of stuff around. And my computer's chugging on that. Let's try git diff here. Newer. Yeah, just like literally everything changed. They just moved a ton of stuff around, I guess. But then ultimately the exports, luckily they're still here at the bottom. Whoops. So create blocking root got unstabled. Create root got unstabled. And flush discrete updates and discrete updates both got removed. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Let's take a look at PRs. So, GitHub, Facebook, React. Let's look at merged. Create root. Well, let's find out when this was released, actually. This was released eight days ago. Huh, okay. Remove those. Let's take a look at that one. Okay, in that case, let's look for unstable create root. Ah, there's a changelog. Nice. Changelog that they haven't updated in a while. They don't make a changelog for experimental stuff, which makes sense. My guess is this probably had to have a change with that unstable create root. Yep, there it is. Found it. That makes sense. Interesting. Eyeballs. Yeah. Wonder how they do that. Index classic Facebook. Interesting. And then index experimental. Yep, just a bunch of updates there. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Good to know. All of, like, so much of my stuff is going to be busted because of this. Well, not a lot, but yeah, use transition, suspense list, and block is actually something I've been thinking about maybe looking into and including in my experimental stuff. I'm pretty sure that they don't have any docs for block though. But that hasn't stopped me before. Okay, so and oh, just notice the comment from Kim. So I could do the exercise branch updates using GitHub Actions instead, but I actually don't want to do it in any sort of CI. I want to do it locally, just because the way that it works is a little finicky and it can easily break, and I want it to break on my machine rather than pushing stuff up. Maybe when I'm not actively working on it anymore, possibly, but probably not. Probably still want to have it. I'll do that locally. Okay, let's figure out what this discrete update thing was. Yeah, I had no idea what the discrete thing was anyway, so. Yeah, this is just removing a bunch of code and swapping it with flush sync. Okay, well, good. So this is good to know for me. So what I need to do is we're gonna open up React Workshop app, and we need to update this because this is where I call. Oh, and this was another thing I wanted to look at too, actually. This is what happens. It happens every time. I'm like, oh yeah, then there's this other thing. Yeah, so I'm gonna npm install as a dev dependency Babel plugin dynamic import node. No, it won't be a dev. This will be an actual dependency. Actually, before I do that, let's just update all the things. Except for ESLint. Or package JSON. ESLint, we're not quite ready with our configs yet. So it's 6.8 is what we had before. Okay. And then let's import, or let's just do this manually. And then we'll have it flash anyway. Okay, fine. Okay, that just popped up over here, but I'm just looking for the version number, which is 2.3.3. We'll ditch that and flush npm. And while that's rolling, we're going to come to my Babel config. And we want this plugin applied during testing. Is test. Yeah, is test.
npm is done.
Require resolve at, otherwise null. And actually, part of me wonders if Jest supports this. Jest, so hold on a second. Let's just ditch this thing and run our tests, see what happens. Okay, import. Why did I need that in the first place? Yeah, I don't think I need this. So let's git add and reset, and we're just gonna, yeah, we'll be fine. And I think it's still running the build and Cypress and stuff. but I don't really care. So while that's running, I don't mind it running. Yep, there we go. I already, deleted that. We'll update all the things here. Okay, and then in the React app, concurrent, here we go. That'll do her.
NPM is done.
Still feel like I could probably improve this. So that these two can be totally split from each other. And I dynamically import the React logic when it's needed. There it is. Yeah, that's why I can't do that. Not quite anyway. But I could. So let's back up. No, it's okay. Actually, this is fine. Because the only place I really care is when we have to load React anyway. So whatever we have in this file is just extra stuff. That shouldn't really cause too much of a problem anyway. Okay, good. Let's not make this too complicated. Okay. Okay, cool. So with that, then, before I do anything else, we're gonna delete this thing, put everything back where it was, and then we're going to find all places where I'm using unstable APIs and prefix them with unstable. Oh, right, because I don't import it like that. So we're looking for React use transition. You know what? What I'm going to do? I'm going to do a terrible thing. Import React from React. React use transition equals React use or unstable use transition. and react suspense list equals react unstable suspense list. Remember, this is unstable. I just don't want to. Yeah, let's say, please heed all warnings around this workshop telling you that this is unstable software. Unstable software. Okay. And here, let's go to Git browse here. Okay, sweet. So now we can take a look at our CI, because this should be releasing soon. There it goes. Ba-da-da-da. So now I can npm update this to .11. And we're going to flash npm because this has a bunch of tools in it that I don't want to deal with whatever npm does to make that work. So there we go. And we'll need to close that too. Yeah, I just got the email that was successfully published. Hooray!
npm is done.
Okay, I'm just checking on something. Okay, almost done. Okay, great. NPM is done. We can start the server again, and we'll get a refresh. And hopefully it will not break this time. There we go. It did not break. I am very pleased. We can look at the final version of this, and boom, we're loading the app. And it works great, but it's kind of doesn't really drive the point home very well, so that's why I'm going to make a change here. But let's go ahead and git commit, update all the things, and push that. Sorry, I just got distracted by Twitter, because that happens to me sometimes. And my email. Okay. Sweet. So yeah, that's working. Sorry, just making sure we're taking care of one of the testingjavascript.com customers. Okay, I'll get back to that later. So, yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm actually going to, you know what, I'm just going to delete it all. I don't need it. So I got to stop the server here really quick. We'll delete this and delete that. We'll leave the 7 open or whatever. Get rid of that suspense list stuff. And then 07.js, we import React from React, export default app to do. And this is going to be, oh yeah, that's what I want it to be actually. Okay, and then we'll copy this right over here. we'll start up the server again. So then what I want to do is make a let's see. Okay, we're actually gonna put this in here. Chats.js, because I know I'm gonna need them in both places. And I'm going to add Faker create chat. Just going through the authentication exercise of the Bookshelf app. That's fun. Wondering why you didn't use the run method from the useAsync hook inside a useEffect in the login form component. And yeah, so because the way that I do that there is, if I recall correctly, I'm doing it in the event handler. And yeah, you could do that. I think. Yeah, I'd have to look at it and see what I do. Ah, goodness, I'm gonna look at it now. Bookshelf. We're gonna go to the, well, here, I'll just authentication and source unauthenticated app. Oh, I see. So are you asking why I didn't use the run method inside a useEffect in the login form as opposed to inside the handle submit? Well, so I could have done that, but then I'd have to add some state management for the username and password and say like submitted form. And that's fine. I don't really see a whole lot of benefit of doing that though, on top of what we've got here. So it's just two ways of doing the same thing. Okay, sweet. So here we're going to make a chat. This is going to return ID, which is going to be a faker, internet or UU ID. Ah, goodness, I don't know. Fake UU ID. Nope. Random UUID. There we go. And the type is going to be faker random array element, I think is what I want. Somebody's at my door. Okay, let's look at faker.js. I won't be able to make it very far without that. Actually, faker, there we go. Random, what was it? Array element. Oh yeah, it's like super poorly documented. Element, array element. Okay, there we go. That's not all that bad. Okay, good. So we're going to take a type, and this is going to be message, link, video, let's see, audio, image, event. Okay. And this will be text. Message, faker, random, or lorem lines. Let's see, lorem. I think I'll probably do paragraph. Okay. And then the, let's see. We'll call this the resources. And here we're going to grab that type right here. So if it's type is a link, then here, and actually let's just do this. Switch type link, and we'll say let, or here, get resources. Link, this will be a faker. This will be a lot easier. Get resources for the type. Oh my goodness, I love that syntax. It's awesome. Okay, so if it's a link, it's going to be a fake internet URL. If it's a video, faker internet URL plus slash video dot mp4. Audio, I'll probably have something later that's like real for this stuff, but event. Okay. Oops. All right, and then we're gonna node source chats. Oh, that's not gonna work. Oh, whoops. Yeah, because I'm using the import statement really quick. Boo on that. I should upgrade to Node 14. Oh well, do that later. We'll just assume that this is going to work and import this. Compiling, huh? Oh, whoops, that is supposed to be in there. That's fine. Go over here. And here we are. Okay. Nice. Okay, and actually, I'm gonna want to, yeah, I'm probably not gonna want to generate this stuff. After all, I'll probably want to have like specific things. Yeah, well, it's the end of the day. I need to wrap up. Thanks for sticking with me. 5 people left here. I'm just going to chalk that up to Europe being asleep now. Not that I'm super boring. Oh, now there's 4. Oh, now there's 5. Okay. But I'm actually heading out. So, yeah, I feel pretty productive today. Got quite a few things done. Getting closer to being able to record the last bit of the performance one. As soon as that thing's merged, I'll feel better about recording that. And then I'll be able to record the React suspense as soon as this exercise is finished. And then I can work on the exercises for the testing portion of Build React App. Probably only be like 4 exercises for that, because they're like that particular workshop, those exercises are a lot bigger. And then I can start recording all of those. So still got a long way to go, but boy, I've got a lot of stuff. It's great. So thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you all in the future.